Look at this suck up here. Favorite D&D GM pocket? I appreciate it. Hello everyone! Welcome into episode 25 of Pariahs. Ooh, I need to click that button. That button there! I know it's a black screen. God damn it. I'm slow. Give me a moment, Smith. Hey, Vexen, how are you today? Thank you for that 3-word. I'm trying to read that. I'm going to drink this first. I think it's going to be one of those sessions. It's the bright colours is throwing me off. Oh, thank you for that resub. I appreciate it. Devious Hearts, hello, how are you? And Jumplex, our own Vanya, with the 53-month resub. This is all a figment of your imagination. Yes, Vanya, it is a figment of your imagination. Hello.
You're not real.
You're not real. You can't make it. How are we?
We're
still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Marvellous.
Mm-hmm.
Let me turn Discord up a little bit for everyone. I'll just turn the music down. That might be the better option.
Bellend.
I know. What can I say? Professional streamer, yeah. I think that'll work. Episode 25, Sunday. We're here again. Anything new in the world from you players?
Nothing comes to mind.
No?
Nah, same shit, different day.
Couldn't agree more.
Well. In that case, I'll just say that I have been enjoying the Salt Fest recently on one of the players' streams.
Listen. It's competitive games, you know, it happens.
Yes. Yeah, it's been beautiful to watch. But, with that said, stuff's happened. We're in a world of pure imagination. I need a rainbow filter that'll give me a nice little rainbow over my head, I think, for this. But, Cypher, what did you get up to last week?
What do you mean? Apart from nearly dying?
You believed you nearly died.
Oh, right. Okay. How's that any different? We entered Cypher's dreams after seeing Joseph and his Technicolor fucking dreamland. We went and saw something less colourful, sinking under the waves into the realm of nightmares, into Cypher's dreams. Where at first it was nothing, just the darkness, surrounded by voices.
Sorry.
You know what?
Just as soon as the darkness, the first thing that came into my head was touching you.
I loved that song. Am I the only one?
I hate you, boy.
I'm not.
You don't believe?
You don't know who the darkness
is? Oh my gosh.
Do you believe in a thing called love, Reza?
Oh. Oh fuck.
So anyway, we slipped into the darkness. Go on. I'll mute up and shut up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, you. Got to do one thing per stream, and you got to interrupt it with your fucking tirade. Son of a bitch. Hard enough as it is. Anyway, we sunk into the darkness, surrounded by voices, to something that, once upon a time, was where Cypher came from. It's his happy place, surrounded by the darkness and the voices that are all in his head, because they are all him. And then, after a bright flash of white, we are no longer in the darkness.
You're doing it on purpose
We're
now.
in fucking dickhead. We were in what seemingly looked like the city below, or at least part of it. And in that room was lots and lots of giant test tube babies, most fully grown. 60 in total, first 30, all dead in states of mutation or decay, depending on what it was made with, how it died. Some were just empty husks, soulless creatures that just never got to live. The next batch of 10 were a bunch of handsome devils, possibly literally in this case, as there was 10 ciphers in all different shapes and sizes, but all, very similar in how they look. The same skin, the same facial features, the same milky white eyes, lank hair. And then after that, there was a collection of identical, 20 of them identical doppelgangers. The finished product, as it were. And then we escaped that dream before it got burnt to the fucking ground. And then went to the Shadowfell, which might have actually been the Shadowfell manifested in a dream. Real but not real.
Or you might have just believed it was the Shadowfell. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Dreams are weird, guys. But as always, Vanya started panicking, so everything went to shit. And the shadows came alive, and we're like, well, we'll have a piece of that. So combat ensued, but luckily enough, we managed to get away unscathed from the shadowy goodness, and back into the Shadow Realm, where it was somebody else's turn to dream, wasn't it, Vanya?
Most definitely. Question mark. There's a lot of regrets.
Yeah.
Cypher nearly thought he died. But we'll start back at the beginning. So at the beginning of the dream, they all found themselves at a dock. With only a select few being selected to enter the boat of where it would take them to a sanctuary that they have not seen yet. And while on there, Vanya did the terrible thing of reminiscing of stories that were told before they entered the mist.
Starting to see a pattern emerging.
Yeah, she says things. She panics. Things happen. So she started remembering the stories of a sea serpent, of a guardian that really just kind of makes sure that whoever is going through the fog is invited. And somehow she might have manifested this sea serpent, and who ruthlessly attacked all of us on the boat. And luckily we got through it. Cypher not so much. Although in the end, Garrett willed him back to life somehow. I can't remember exactly, but But thank goodness,
So-
because Vanya wouldn't want that on her consciousness.
Of course.
that,
So just allow me to refresh your memory. After the moment where Vanya tried to believe the sea creature could drown,
Don't do it! I'm trying to leave those parts out so that no one remembers.
it came out of the water, blasted Cypher with a nice, beautiful, salty, icy, briny tidal wave, and Garrett he managed to deceive himself into thinking that the potion he was about to give Cypher was a superior potion of lich healing.
And it worked.
And it worked. It did. Do continue.
Like, and I will say, like, didn't you get like all the way back up to full health with that too? Or pretty
no.
close?
Pretty close, yeah. Like, yeah, 30 out of 42. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Isn't that amazing? What
Garrett can do?
imagining
Yeah.
thing can do?
Yeah. It's really great that Garrett saved my life when you tried to kill it.
That wasn't me. That was the serpent, which I guess technically, by proxy, you know, the serpent was tied to Vanya. So anyways, we won't go down that. That was not Vanya's fault. But we left the scene, or we eradicated the serpent. And I believe we all climbed back on the boat.
Absolutely.
And
You nailed it.
And and we are about to head to the next phase of Vanya's dream. And I'm just gonna say, you guys just be very stop me if I start reminiscing too hard.
So, with that said then, thank you, Vanya. Thank you, Cypher. We will pick up where we left off last week with one of the guardians of the Ravencourt Sanctuary laid low. You all stepped back onto the large wooden rowboat, surrounded by green mists and fog. No visible landmarks, no signs of land, and again with only enough sight to see roughly 30 or so, maybe 40 feet in front of you. The 10 cloaked figures who were sat on the boat still remain sat in place. None of them turn to look at you all. None seem to even comprehend your existence here. And with that, I pass it now back to you, Vanya. With you all on the boat, by the way, and Cypher, you're looking pretty rough around the edges. Sorry, go on.
Oh, it's okay. So as we take a moment for a breather, we eventually pass through the mist, and just on the horizon, you'll see the sanctuary.
Emerging through the mist first, a few lights before eventually, I believe I can say that the mist seems to clear around the sanctuary proper, giving you a full view of, well, Vanya, what do they see?
They will see a majestic castle, pretty much, just lit up, and you can see that it's sprawling with other mages and just hustling and bustling about. But as we get closer, there's a shift in the air. There's a kind of an awareness feeling, like all eyes lock on us, as though that they are very aware that we have that we've entered the sanctuary. But you'll see. Oh, go ahead.
All eyes lock on you, you say?
Yes.
Roll me
Yes, they do.
Concentration check, please, Vanya.
Let me pull it up.
It's just a straight D20 for a concentration
Oh, wait,
check.
hold on. That's Constitution. Hold on 1 second. I'm over here clicking random stuff.
All right. Do continue.
But Vanya doesn't let it derail her because she is learning through this whole dreamscape that she must stay focused. So as she focuses harder, you'll notice that you all transform or transition into an area where you notice that Vanya's sitting on a bench, just her younger self in a cloak, and you'll notice that same silken tie that she has, that she used as her kind of her trinket for her dream. And you'll notice that she's sitting there by herself. No usual bustle of students and teachers. And you would get a sense that this is not out of the norm for her, that she would sit on this bench for hours on end, lost in thought. And Vanya would say, I would sit there often, dreaming of changing things. And you could see the figure, or you see Vanya sitting there looking down at her hands, and they're blood-stained.
It's at this moment where it seems like the dream stops for a moment, giving you all a chance to... you're on the boat, and then all of a sudden you see this grand academy out in the middle of the ocean spread before you, followed shortly after by being in this corridor. A younger Vanya sat to one side, and it's now similar to when Cypher, you were looking through Cypher's memories, dreams earlier, that there seems to be a lull, almost like time slowing down, giving you all a chance to look around, ask any questions.
Cypher's gonna go up to the girl and go, what happened to his hands?
Well, I had to. I had to do it. I had to experiment to be able to do the things that I wanted to do.
That didn't answer my question, Vanya. Why is there blood on the little girl's hands?
And she points to a room. I would dissect things.
Things. And I'm gonna stride towards the door.
Roll me a perception check, everybody. Garrett. Garrett. That skill, so useful.
Reliable talent. I'm gonna miss it so.
So, with Cypher starting to stride towards the door, Vanya, you perhaps starting to delve into memories, remembering Reza. You also perhaps see the looking at the girl. What's currently taking your attention away from perhaps the wider periphery?
probably just looking around in this environment, the likes of which she's never seen really before, and she's kind of like, she's paying attention to everything but little girl Vanya, and just kind of looking around in awe, and then like she sees blood out of the corner of her eye, so then she suddenly starts to smell blood. And then she kind of like shakes her head a little bit to clear the smell from her senses, and just continues to ignore the scene with the girl with the blood.
Garrett and Dorian, what, maybe not see it first, but you would certainly feel something like a crawl up your spine, as if something above you was looking down. And as you both cast your eyes towards the ceiling, in the darkened crevices of the academy halls, there seems to be eyes that begin to open in the darkness and look down at you. No discernible figure to them, just black eyes with slightly purpled irises that seem to glow. And whilst no words are exchanged, you get the thought put into your mind of trespassers, outsiders. This is not yours to see. There is something here that is outside a consciousness, outside of what you would expect to be here. This is meant to be a realm of dreams. But you definitely are both aware that there is something that is aware of your presence in these hallowed halls.
So just, we might not necessarily know, but does it seem like it's something that is here because Vanya would have recollected it being here, or like known it was there vaguely, or does it seem like there's something that is unrelated to the dream, like it's something that operates even outside that?
Roll me an insight check. It's not going to be a high DC. This is definitely... you get the impression that this is certainly not something on Vanya. This seems to be an entity, or perhaps a curse of some sort. There is some tie to Vanya, but the fact that you're seeing this this creature is not born from the dreamscape.
All right. So this voice is coming up at, like, how high are the ceilings? Like, really high up?
Yeah, well, if Vanya, how high are the ceilings here?
They are extremely high. I would say they're about 18 foot. Is that? Yeah.
Well, then basically up towards the ceiling, you know, because everybody's seems to be dealing with young Vanya and everything. Dorian, seeing this, is kind of expecting that this creature is going to have some kind of malicious intent because we're here. So he's kind of readying himself, looking for things other than just eyes manifesting. Or, well, your doorman, the serpent, couldn't keep us out. And if you want to have everything left as it is, we'll just have a peruse and be on our way.
Roll me a persuasion check, Dorian.
Meanwhile, Reza looks around at Dorian like, who are you talking to?
He's clearly looking at the roof.
Yeah.
God,
I'm gonna roll like trash in combat because I rolled
Yeah.
like 3 20s.
At this point, the rest of your cipher, Vanya, you would hear Dorian call out. And then this voice would ring out from the walls, from the floor, from the rafters ahead. My little student. Always so curious. So inquisitive. You should have forgotten. But if perusal is all you are here for, then so be it. The doors to various rooms that line the corridors begin to slam shut. With the exception of the door that you were heading towards, Cypher. That one, you hear the sound of a heavy lock turning as the door opens itself. Vanya, I'm going to pass the rest back to you now. But you would feel this presence retract from this memory, this dream.
Vanya will stand beside Cypher and wait to see if he approaches to peer inside.
Yeah, 100%.
So as you look in, you'll witness a multitude of grotesque experiments. Undead limbs hanging from ceilings, withered bodies dissected on the table. And all throughout the room, you'll see that it's surrounded by arcane texts. Each room is like or at least this room that you're peering into is a laboratory. And you'll see bubbling potions, strange instruments, just like very shiny blades, and you'll not only see just undead, but you'll see unrecognizable creatures whimpering as you see Vanya there, who's experimenting with unknown procedures like dissecting, pouring potions, or putting skin pieces into certain like flasks, and just you'll see her just kind of moving along in her hands bloodstained. And then Vanya will whisper into Cypher's ear and say, "This is where I had my first experiment."
What is it?
I exploded an undead. We
What
may
were you
want
trying to
back
do?
out.
I have to take a step back.
I wanted to, and you can see Vanya like leaning down and whispering things. I wanted to create some psychological transformation.
In an undead?
Yes. They... We were to eradicate the undead and to try to figure out things that we could do to eradicate them, and I merely... They misunderstood. They believed, I mean, they were actually quite happy that I was trying to control them, to subjugate their minds, but that wasn't it, not entirely. I merely wanted to refine them, to evaluate them, to eliminate the darkness that plagued their thoughts. You know, the evilness that gnawed at their souls that we were taught. I saw the
And-
potential for a better world.
Well, I see why it failed then. See everything in black and white.
I mean, this was just my first attempt. But I wanted to free them from the shackles of negativity. I mean, you can see that in my programs. Nowadays, I just didn't remember all of the things that I did to get to these steps. But I want a world where minds are cleansed and purified. I wanted to sculpt them, to mold them into vessels of pure, unadulterated optimism. If only they understood. They would have truly been free, you know.
Would they? Or are they already free to believe and think what they want, and you were just, I don't know, subjugating them to your own view? A prison of your own making.
No, because then they would have been free. The Academy deemed it a failure when I couldn't control them, and they got rid of the ones that weren't controllable.
Yes, this whole place screams freedom to me, Vanya. Even your memories are locked up in a cage.
Vanya, roll me an insight check, please. There is certainly something unusual. You don't know what. You can't exactly put your finger on a reason. There are perhaps the odd whisper in the air that's only perceivable to you. Sometimes it's in a voice you recognize, your own. Other times this whisper seems to be in a voice from the corridor. Then other words, other sentences seem to be in a third voice, also familiar, but just can't quite place your finger on who. Out of sight, out of this dream, though, one thing is for certain. There is something currently at work, picking apart strands of memories, of dreams, doors, locks being opened. Memories that once forgotten or sealed away starting to open. And the only thing really that you do know for certain at this moment in time is that crystal, that dream crystal currently in your grasp on your person, is vibrating. Magical energy is pouring out of it. Not at a unpleasant rate, but certainly more noticeable.
Can you feel that?
Roll me an Arcana check for those who are even slightly magically gifted, which I think is all of you.
I say gifted is a strong word, but yes.
All bar Reza. Reza, you would feel something just like the occasional tug, the pull, as if this dreamscape itself is trying to be broken apart. In fact, you would all feel this. It almost at times feels like this entire dream, this scene, the corridor, the room, is trying to be pulled apart, but something then smashes it back together. Whilst unaware, originally, now that Vanya's brought something to your attention, you feel this pull and this strain just at the corners of the rooms. A titanic battle of wills is occurring behind the scenes. And it's none of the wills in this room.
Is it the coroner? Can I sense his magic in this?
No. With the 26, no, you cannot. His presence is not here at all.
Interesting.
In black and white, it seems that one entity is trying to close this dream, this memory, to shut it off. But another entity is allowing it to continue, picking apart at the seams, the threads of the locks of your memories, Vanya.
Vanya will, feeling drawn to the whispers, if no other tried to stop her, she'll follow the whispers into the corridor.
As you step out of the room, if the rest follow, you would just see the room behind Vanya, roughly 12, 15 feet away, just start to break apart. As Vanya steps back into the corridor with the rest of you around, Vanya, I'm going to drop you a DM quick.
Yep.
Talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
Vanya, why does it feel like you don't have complete control in this area?
I feel it feels familiar to me. Although something, my crystal is vibrating, and there feels to be tension. But do you not hear the whispers? Like I hear myself. Maybe there's something else that I'm not seeing that I need to see. Like, I know now that I was trained to be in opposition of the Crimson Court.
But is it an accurate memory?
Oh, Shh. It's speaking to me now.
Reza. Oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Reza, while she's kind of like looking off into the void, listening to voices, allegedly, Reza's gonna like take a pastry out and like just kind of like wave it under her nose.
She's gonna, with her eyes closed, she's gonna smell it and she's gonna swat at it and she's gonna say, Reza, not now. Don't break my concentration. And she's like fully honed in on this voice.
Reza turns to look at the other and says, "Yep, she passed. I mean, it's as good as it gets, right? She turned down food." That was totally the wrong accent. I apologize.
There is something out there watching us.
But there is support. We have support. The nurse.
Yes, well,
Oh, good. I feel so much better knowing that the nurse has our back.
I wouldn't.
but
really
wherever
just-
she's leading you, that's for her benefit.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call her supportive. More like manipulative.
She's helping keep this together right now because of the head of this academy does not want us here, even in the dreamscape. She is keeping this together so that we can see what we're seeing. She's not all bad.
Cypher just laughs. He goes, "Well, if that's the case, maybe we should get a, shimmy on, see what there is to see in this place."
I'd agree.
I want
And
to
if-
see. Oh, go ahead.
If the nurse says for you to do something in particular, think about why.
One second.
Okay. Is there anything anyone wishes to know about? In fact, before I say that, Dobie, hello. I also saw. Thank you, by the way, for your continue of the sub. I saw it. You did it whilst I was not streaming. Thank you kindly. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. And talking of support, rave on with those 200 bitties, throwing his bits out. Thank you. Let me also manage rewards. Your whispers have been whispered. Speaking of subs, thank you, Des. I appreciate it. Sorry, hang on, I've got a DM from Jump.
Yes, I was reminding you of that.
Okay. That's exactly what the nurse wants to find out. So, if you wish to pursue that, it would be a hop, skip, and a jump down the corridor.
Well, you see what he did there?
What?
Let's do it.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
So Vanya is gonna say to the group before we leave, you know how I may or may have not told you this? I cannot remember now that we've been here. That, every 7 years that boat comes, right?
Mm.
And we enter, but one does not return. And I cannot remember what happened to the one that stays behind. I must find out.
This is your dream. Lead on.
And she closes her eyes and tries to go to a dream where this would at least kind of get her closer to...
Roll me a wisdom check, please. Straight wisdom.
And I get is it 1d4 with that?
You do.
Needed it.
A 10. You all begin to make your way down the corridor. This corridor you're in seems to grow longer and longer with each step that you take. Does anyone have any questions about the academy whilst you're seemingly in this, for the moment, endless corridor? There's the odd sign every now and again, a subtle crack. Not like the golden cracks that you saw before, but this time almost something like the crack of a mirror or of glass shattering just momentarily before returning to normal. And you would just see one every now and again, just at the edge of your vision, just crack, shatter. But then, again, almost instantaneously, wouldn't be there. Signs that something is happening behind the scenes, but giving you a relative sense of safety.
Do we see anything else as we're walking through these corridors? Are any of the doors open?
No.
Or is it just a corridor?
It's a corridor that just seems to continually stretch. There are doors, and as you approach them, the doors close. It seems that whatever's keeping this memory, this deepening probe, is focusing purely on keeping this corridor open rather than letting you branch out at the moment. But, well, what do you want to know, if anything?
I mean, it's a magic academy. Cyphers wants to know if he sees anything like arcane in nature, any sigils, any symbols,
Roll me an Arcana
magic
check.
circles, items.
Roll me an Arcana check. Go on, Vanya.
I was gonna add
That's
to
not
that
true.
if you'll
Absolutely. Yeah.
allow me to.
Yeah.
So you will see golems strung about. And the reason behind that is the Raven Court has, like, the mages there. They have a mastery of golems.
Absolutely. So with that, every now and again, I mean, you said it's natural one, but it's still an 11.
Still 11.
It's still an 11. And again, you know, in this, with it just being information and lore, rather than it being, you know, specifics, I'm not going to be like, no, you learn nothing. I mean, I give you as much as you want, but with that said, though, yes, every now and again, the scene would change and you would see golems strutting towards you. The occasional form of a robed wizard, similar to the... In fact, Vanya, have you ever wore your robe out before? I don't think you have you?
No, not outside of the academy.
No. So what you would see is a glimpse of a long purple robe, similar to that of the Sanguine Academy, but rather than all of the gold filigree and embroidery, these are a lot more simple. Mainly just plain black purple fabric, a deep cowl, but absolutely golems are almost assigned to every student. And on top of that, in regards to magic circles, yes, every single door, now that's this long corridor starting to somewhat stabilize, or at least is being focused on, you would see that there are magical runes, engravings above every single door. With a brief glance, some seem to be runes of dispelling magic. Others seem to act as walls of force. Things to contain or stop. The best way to describe it really would be, it seems to be a glorified prison system. If anything tries to get out that shouldn't out of these rooms, the glyphs will activate, sealing the doors shut, either with walls of force or other rather unpleasant spells. Magic SCP College, pretty much. You wouldn't see any tomes or any documentation cipher due to the fact that, again, you're just contained in this corridor rather than being in a study room. And again, similar to your own dreams, your own memories, text is only really legible on things that that person's seen. Is that enough for you?
Van. Mm-hmm.
Garrett?
Vanya, how are the details? Are things as you remembered them?
I believe so. They're more. I'm getting more glimpses than it being all here. But I remember the golems. I remember. I mean, a lot of times we protected the rooms because of our experiments. So I would say yes, but I don't remember the halls being this long. Maybe it's been expanded, but we're in my dream, so it should be the same length. But maybe I, as a young mage, felt that they were longer than what they were.
Strive for accuracy. That's what we need to get the portal to the Pharaoh.
She's gonna grasp the dream crystal harder and try to concentrate harder.
I mean, Arcana check, please, Vanya. As you grip onto the dream crystal, begin to concentrate, pour more magical power into it, there is a brief moment where your visions flash to green, and then you are above, looking down on the academy, stood on what appears to be a disc of air, an invisible platform, perhaps. Vanya, you would recognize this spell as Tensor's floating disc, a grand version of it, at least. But with you all looking down at the academy, that's not the only thing that will grab your attention. Just ahead on this large platform above Raven Court, you would see 9 figures in a circle. A 10th in the center, and then stood next to this 10th individual, a large black form. It seems to be shifting, writhing almost. Sometimes a wing would pop out, other times tentacles. It seems to be this black amorphous mass that constantly changes. An aberration, absolutely. But you would see one of these tentacles reach out from the mass, touch the individual in the center of the ring. And it's at that moment you feel a connection snap. Almost like yourselves are being drawn and stretched like elastic, as all of a sudden what goes from this platform above the academy, your back stood on the dreamscape ocean. Vanya, you would feel the presence of your sister depart. But with a tinkling sound, a crack begins to form in the dream crystal.
We must hurry.
Why?
She'll hold the dream crystal out, and she'll try to place her hand on it and think to try to heal it.
Roll me a deception check. What do you tell you? How do you heal a crystal, Vanya? You've obviously deceived yourself somehow.
She figured that she would sacrifice a happy dream to heal it.
Okay. Your mind.
And
Sorry, go on.
oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was about to say your mind darkens momentarily, as if something has been plucked, like a loose strand of hair plucked from your head. A sharp pain before this strand begins to coil around the crystal, settling into the crack, and the brief glow. The crack is no longer there.
I feel with each dream, this may continue to happen, so we must hurry along.
Who's next?
Who would like to go next? I feel like we've all learned some lessons.
I guess I could.
And with those words said, we will be right back for a refill o'clock.
Oh, good, I'm drowning.
If you're drowning, I don't want to know. Never mind. I'm not even gonna finish that sentence, folks. We will be but a moment. Also, Durs, thank you, buddy, for those 49 months. I appreciate it. I appreciate it even. Also, Scarlet Spider Comics. I can't even speak for shit tonight. It's been a long week. Let's try that again. Scarlet Spider Comics. I saw you. Hello. Welcome in. It's going to be one of those sessions. I can feel it. Do we not have the commands working? Is cacophony broke? Who knows? We'll be right back, everyone.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
I too have returned. And I'm
Welcome
going to
in.
temporarily just see what's going on with Cacophony. Because he's obviously fallen asleep.
Thought it was quite peaceful in here.
Yeah, I know.
I've got some very zen music going.
Oh, yeah.
I'm eating crisp.
I've got leftover Yorkshire pudding. Stand back.
Back.
Alright. It's coming up as Streamlabs instead of Cacophony because it's broke, but at least we've got quotes back now. There we go. Never mind. Welcome back, everyone. Okay. Hopefully, I haven't got... I got so excited through all of that, I lost my ability to English. Alright. So, with you being almost forcefully ejected from the Raven Court Sanctuary, you find yourselves back on the Ocean of Dreams. Reza, you stepped up as the next willing victim for Vanya's invasion.
Mm-hmm.
This mind of mine, thank you very much for that sub. I appreciate the gifted sub too. Selphorus. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. But with that though, on the dreamscape, stood on its calm waters, Vanya. What are you up to?
Well, you know, she asks for her next willing participant, and of course, Reza raises the hand. So she walks over to Reza and holds out her hand.
Reza will reach out and take it confidently.
And she says, "Let's continue to walk forward, but focus. And in your other hand, make sure you are grasping your item."
There's a balled up piece of fabric in Reza's other hand, and she kind of holds it a little bit tighter to her chest.
Think of where we need to go. Breathe in, breathe out. One foot in front of the other.
Reza will take a deep breath in and hold it for an excruciatingly long amount of time to the other people, because she's dead and she doesn't have to breathe.
Let it out. Let it out.
And she lets it out, and like, as she exhales, you could almost hear the word Papa leave her lips.
Tell us about Papa.
And instead of words, Reza just starts walking and starts to take everybody home. The Kartal.
The sea, the ocean of dreams begins to shift, contort. You don't descend this time. It's not a downward spiral into the dark waters, but the rocks on the periphery of the ocean of dreams begin to close in. The waters changing from violets, blue, reds start to dull out, and eventually this twisting of realities does indeed turn into a familiar scene, that of Kartov.
it's... We've all been here before. I think it's the center square where there's the tavern and the smithy, but it's evening. It's a bit brisk outside, and Kartov doesn't look quite as run down as it does now, so you get the feeling this is sometime in the past that we're viewing the city.
Is that because it's daytime?
No, it's still dark as ever.
Still dark. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Reza's never seen daylight in Nova Stoya.
Oh.
Does it seem more active than when we visited?
Well, it's evening, so how active would it be? Do we think solution?
I'm leaving this all to you, Reza. This is your dream. You tell me. You are the
So at this
architect of
point-
this point. This is your
Mhm.
past, not my world building.
Got it. Okay, so looking around, it seems like it's probably past dinner time, and like most small towns, like everything closes down. The only place that still looks open is the tavern for whomever might take their evening meal at the tavern. But not a lot of activity on the streets. Any other questions?
So there's nobody about.
Just to reiterate, I think unless it's about the actual world or world-shaking events, keep in mind this is your past, your memories.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to expand on something, I can, but I am only here to put words in your mouth on things outside of the knowledge of your characters.
Gotcha. So Reza kind of looks around and sees the blacksmith shop. And kind of smiles and says to the rest of the group, "This way. I want to see them again." And she leads them to the blacksmith shop, but kind of ignores the shop part and just walks right in through the walls to see what's inside.
But yes, aside for these, the area itself is quiet. It is very similar to Kartov that you've seen at this time of the evening. No carts, no wagons. It's almost the same as before, but as Reza said, a little less run down than you remember.
Does everybody follow her inside the house?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Straight through the wall, is it?
Yeah. Do you normally, do you have the ability to go through walls?
Vanya, it's a dream.
I'm just, you never know. Maybe she was keeping something from us.
No, I know it's not real. I'm keeping that firmly in my mind, but I want to see them again. Like we were before. And you can still, like, her voice is getting a little bit breathy, like she's getting excited. And she leads everybody into a cozy little living room type of room. It seems like maybe this is like the family's, like, if they're not eating or working somewhere else in the shop, they're hanging out here. And there's a roaring fire. Roaring for Novostoya. It's a good fire in the hearth. Gets rid of the chill. And there are 4 figures arrayed around the room.
Is this the scene with the fire you were wanting?
Yeah, I was just about to DM you.
I need to DM you very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I've got. That's what I assumed.
Oh, no.
No, that I from the conversations, I assumed that. So we'll stick with this scene for the moment.
Theater of the mind, everybody.
Do we recognize any of the 4 figures?
No, I don't think so, but allow me to paint the picture of the scene before.
Can I actually
Everybody.
ask one thing? Is there a chance that they may recognize some of these?
I'm thinking for a moment.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's fine. Carry on. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because of what had happened. Just reminding. Yeah, cool. Okay, I will now step back with the full understanding of the
good.
scene.
You're good. So, in this kind of cozy, lived-in
No, you
family
wouldn't
room,
recognize
living
them.
room, a small girl with blonde hair sits by a stone fireplace, and a light-haired woman who bears a strong resemblance to the little girl sits behind her, running a comb gently through her wet hair. You get the strong vibe that, it's probably just been bath time for the kids. And then as the woman who you infer is her mother, she pulls the little girl's hair back and lays it across her back, continuing to brush it. And you'll see that the girl has delicately pointed ears. The little girl holds a small object in her hand, a wooden doll with joints held together with string. And you can hear the deep voice of a man speaking softly. And as your vision expands from looking at the mother and the small girl, you see a lanky elven man sitting in a chair on the opposite side of the fire with a boy leaning over his shoulder, probably about 10 years old or so. And the boy is reading along as the man reads a letter out loud to the woman and the little girl. Father says that this ship will take us to a new land, a land where we will not be persecuted, I do not think Mother approves, but she will not argue. I think she is looking forward to saying, I told you so. Father and our uncles are decided, though. There's no place for our kind in this land, they say. I hope that this next venture is successful. It may be some time until I am able to get a letter to you again, dear little brother. Please give my love to Roz, Damien, and little Maria. I think of you all often, and hope there is a day that brings us all together. Your loving sister, Reza. And you watch as the man folds the letter and tucks it into a shirt pocket and looks over the little girl's head, whom you assume is Maria. And he meets the gaze of the woman, Rosalind, and puts an arm about the boy, Damien's waist. And Rosalind meets his gaze and, pursing her lips, says, "What do you make of it, dear Oglev?" He shakes his head. "I don't know, love. I don't know." And the blonde little girl looks up and says, "What does persecuted mean?" And you hear the soft laughter of the family as her mother ruffles her hair. And then you feel like something grabbing at your feet. And it feels like the light from the fireplace is fading. And we all start to sink.
Through the blackness of nothing, the cold grip of something ancient tugs at you as the scenery begins to fade into your eyes, and I dare say for all of you now a familiar sight, familiar architecture. Reza.
During the previous scene, Reza had just been kind of standing there, clutching the piece of fabric to her chest. And now she looks around them sadly and says to the group, "It always ends up here. Over and over again."
Were you the little girl?
Yeah.
Who's Reza?
Our aunt, my father's sister.
Why are we here?
Because this is where the dream always ends. And they are obviously in the city below. There's the glowing torches, the similar architecture, the same oppressive feel of the atmosphere.
Everyone roll me apart from Reza, roll me a perception check, please. Garrett, Vanya. This actually makes... The rolls make fucking perfect sense, actually. The atmosphere here is similar to the city below, but there is something else. Something darker. Garrett, you would be aware that the more recent event of the dead man's quarantine has not yet occurred, as This was... Well, you know what I'm getting at, Garrett, which I'm sure we'll get to later on. This was before, I'll put it that way. But there is still this oppressive sense of dread in the atmosphere. This is deeper. Deeper underground. Much deeper than your current underground sanctuary that's only housed in the side parts of the city below. But again, the architecture is the same. Large blocks of blackened stone pillars that ascend high into the caverns above, the blue magical lanterns, the compressed souls of the dead used for illumination. Reza, pass it back to you.
Could Manya ask a question really quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
How do you end up here? It's not something you merely stumble upon, right?
We were here on a rescue mission.
Rescuing who?
Reza kind of looks around the ruins. We came to try and recover the remains of the Novostoyan 5th Scouts. My father. And several others. Never returned.
How deep are we?
At this point, we've been traveling for several days. I tried my best. I had all his old maps and sketches, and I did my best, but we always end up here. And you guys can see we're standing in sort of like a dead-end alley of a street, and coming from our left, you can start to hear the sound of voices.
Are they frantic or
No.
just casual conversation?
It sounds like casual, forced, light-hearted banter at the end of another very long day in the city below.
Before that, is there any questions about the city below? Because, bar from Reza, this is the first time you've seen other parts of the city below that weren't Cypher Sanctum and the area around.
Yeah, so it sounds like with the casual conversation, this is inhabited.
Leave that one to Reza in a moment, but no, there is no one in your general vicinity. No, it's still the ruined city that is familiar to you. But yes, you would hear some voices just off down down one of these side streets.
Can I feel the obelisk?
At this distance, Reza, can you feel the obelisk at this distance?
Yes. Yes, he can.
Close or
I'd say it's probably.
it's a strong pull, but there is still some distance to cover. Is that probably the best way of
Yeah,
putting it?
yeah. It's probably like. I'm trying to think of the right distance measure, but maybe like 400 or 500 yards away.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Maybe not that far. I would say it's about a 10-minute walk.
I mean, that's fair, considering the maze-like structure of the city below. I would say, yeah, it's. You know,
Well, let me clarify. It's a 10-minute walk to be able to see it,
okay.
and probably another quarter mile from that vantage point. Does that make sense?
It does. So basically, Cypher, you're roughly about half a kilometre away from the obelisk at the moment. To put it in British measurements, and or you know, something that we're more familiar with. So yeah, just shy of a third of a mile. It's close. There is certainly a strong pull to the obelisk.
Cypher's gonna unconsciously reach out with his powers to kind of just touch it.
I mean, I can't check.
30.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
I got a warcaster, so.
This is not how you're supposed to die in this scene.
With this being a dream, you begin to try and reach out, but with this being a mix of dream and memory, it seems that it's not right. Yeah, you don't get, there's no true response from it, almost to the point where it kind of feels like as you're reaching out, it's never ending. You're just always a fingertip away from being able to touch the obelisk with your mind. You know it's there. You believe it's there. Reza believes it's there, but in this memory, in this dream, correct, it's not there.
Where did you enter the city?
Back then, there was still a guarded entrance. It's walled off now.
I dare say there's only one place that would come to mind for that.
Mm-hmm.
The Dead Man's Quarantine.
I think we might have been the last. The last official group to go in was my father and his people.
The risk of repeating myself. How accurate is this to your memory?
So I would say that this is a dream that has been had over and over again. Maybe not necessarily a dream, but a memory that has been re-reviewed over and over again hundreds of thousands of times by Reza. So I would say the details of the path they are following or are about to follow, very detailed, very refined. I would probably say like 85% match to what is actually there, but then the edges get very fuzzy.
The core memory, the core points, absolutely. Some of the more finer details, maybe not so much.
So Reza would respond. It always looks like this. I think it's very close to what I remember.
Quite uncharacteristically, Garrett will reach out and just put a hand on her shoulder and give it a squeeze.
She kind of jumps slightly, very not expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why you touch me? Hey! No, I'm kidding. So Reza will turn around and look at the rest of them and... Are you ready?
Better question is, are you?
I've seen it before.
During that squeeze on Reza's shoulder, I can't do it.
Hang on. Would you like
Bear
your...
Guidance?
Yeah.
Lovely, thank you.
Try it now with the combat bar.
Yeah, I need to target someone. Bear with. Let me just go in here. and
Even
press
better.
this.
I can throw... Can you see that?
Let's see.
Oh, hang on. Let me throw you in at the bottom here. Down in that corner, hiding in the
I see,
rocks.
Yes. Oh. Boing.
Yay!
God, that was loud. Let me turn that shit down. All right. With a hand on your
So-
shoulder, you cast guidance. Go on, Reza.
She just turns around then and starts walking towards the voices, which are now kind of like fading. As in, the group of people have kind of stopped chatting as loudly as they had been. And she leads them down an alley towards we'll call it a room. It is a space within the ruined architecture that appears to have a roof that's intact and is an easily defendable space for the group of 5 people you see in this area. 3 of them have already rolled into their bedrolls around the small campfire they have going. And can you guys all give me a perception check, please? Oh dear.
Tell you what, me and Dorian have been on it today.
So Vanya and Garrett can tell that, like, looking closely at the people, it's 2 women and 3 men, I believe.
1 woman. No, it is. No, you're right. Yeah, you are absolutely right.
Yeah. 3 women, 2 No, 2 women, 3 men.
Two women, 3 men. Yeah.
3 men and a little lady.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah. No, I forgot the obvious, but yes, it is indeed 3 gentlemen, 2 ladies.
And you immediately recognize that one of the women is a fresh, healthy, and alive looking Reza.
Oh, look at that. You used to have rosy cheeks.
I did. And it looks like that this adventuring party has just finished their nightly routine, and our 3 people have already rolled into bed, and Maria and 1 other person are left up to take the first watch. And they all look like they've been through it. Their armor is beat up. Some people have bandages tied around their arms. No one looks like they've been injured recently, but this group has been through it. So any questions about this scene before I move things forward?
What did you fight?
Would you like me to answer that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, before I do... ELH, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I appreciate it, to our dark little corner of Twitch. So, on topic, though, as for what you fought, the vast majority of creatures seem to be skeletons. Not your typical lumbering, rattling bone sort, but quite hardy, quick moving. The familiar blue glow of the crystals seemed to burn like cold fire in their eyes. There were other various creatures, typically more ghoulish looking entities, like zombies, but also like the skeletons you fought. Quick, agile, hardy, though not in great number. Enough to be problematic at times and to struggle against, not through their skill at arms, but just sheer resilience. Shattering the bone of a skeleton wasn't enough to bring it low. You had to practically reduce the entire skeleton to broken pieces, and even then, with the skulls half caved open, this baleful blue glow from their eyes continued. The jaws, if still attached, would lay on the floor clattering. Guardians of the city below, the long dead. There are a few memories, Reza, of a swarm of bones, a tidal wave that clattered through the streets of the city below, huge, just almost unimaginable in size. This tidal wave of skulls, ribs, thigh bones, fingers, all swarming through. But that was a creature or a creation that's you couldn't fight. No, at the time that was something you took shelter, a force of nature in the city below.
Skeletons of one form or another. Some with that blue light in their eyes. We had to be careful though. There was like a bone tumbleweed creature that was huge that seemed to roam the streets. It's awful. Then I'd never seen anything like that before. And as they're talking, this camping scene seems to have gone into fast forward, where Maria and one of her companions are both keeping watch, and then you see the other companion fall asleep during their watch, but Maria doesn't wake them. She just keeps watch herself, and then normal speed returns. And you see Maria's head whip up and look out the door.
I'm going to interject very quickly there.
Yep.
With regards to the companions, apart from Maria, a younger, alive Reza, the other four, one seems to be wearing a heavy gambeson chainmail beneath, long sword, short sword, a frontliner. The lady with the group, much less armoured. In fact, for someone not to be wearing armour at all, almost, in the city below is perhaps crazy. But a large maul is typically found just a hand away from her. The other individual, again, leather armour, red embellishments, a hand crossbow tucked into his waist, and a long sword at his side. And that brings us to the last member of Maria's party. A gentleman with a short bow slung over shoulder, short sword at hip, and a blackened leather armour with a long cowl. Judging from the individuals here, it seems to be your typical party makeup. Frontliner, up-close damage dealer, a sneaky individual who can get in and out of any situation, long-range support, and, well, I don't need to explain Maria, as this is someone who you've all fought along with for the last year. Back to you, Reza.
So you'll see Maria whip her head up, like she hears something. And then she stands up and starts walking. Almost like she's in a trance. And then Reza will say to the rest of the party, "Come on then, we have to follow."
Okay.
With you...
And they...
What's it gone?
Go ahead.
Okay,
you.
with you following behind Reza as Maria and the party, who are currently sleeping on watch, but you begin to follow Maria through halls, streets of the city below. But this seems very similar to the long hallway of Vanya's dream, Vanya's memory. Something that is both true but also distorted. Perhaps a memory that is difficult to materialize, or one that at the same time is also perhaps purely a dream rather than a memory. You say that's fair, Reza?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back to you.
So we would follow Maria for about 10 minutes as she winds through the streets of the city below. And oddly or not oddly, nothing tries to harass her, hinder her movement, attack her. On this 10-minute journey alone through the city below until she arrives at a balcony.
Well, before that moment, Cypher, I'm going to ask you for an Arcana check, please. There, during this walk through the streets of the city below, whilst this isn't you being in the, going into the past, there is still the forces at work that Reza, Maria, would remember. And there is a familiar magic in the air, Cypher. Something that you would immediately pick up on and recognize. And that is, of course, that of the Grand Obelisk. Not so much knowing that this was the obelisk, but you would certainly have felt this magic before. This pull, both from the Shadowfell and in the coroner's own chambers. Before Reza reaches this balcony, it seems to be a street that ends in an archway that leads into perhaps an old observation deck, an old observatory, perhaps even in the city below at some point was a pleasure spot, somewhere that perhaps at one point chairs were set out where people could enjoy drinks, food, whilst looking over what was once a grand city. No longer, of course. As you all pass through the archway onto this balcony, it expands out into a large, humongous cavern, almost incomprehensible in size. A blue glow coats the entire chamber. Dreadful magics run through the air. And well, at that moment, I think I know I've just seen Vanya and Dorian nip to the loo, but I think that's probably a good point for me to, yeah, I thought so. We will call a quick burb. In fact, saying that, I've not really got much water left. Yeah, I'll go refill this since we're taking a moment. 2 hours in. It's probably be the last one, but we'll see. But yeah, any questions from you players? Have a think. Any explanations or anything you wish to investigate whilst meandering your way through the city below? have a think, and I shall answer in a moment.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I return with carbonated water.
Huzzah! I have a
Huzzah!
question.
Fire away.
Did we get to see these skelly bobs with the blue glow coming from them? Even if it was like a fleeting
Yeah,
fucking
I would. Yeah,
image.
roll me a perception check. So whilst not completely in view, as this almost seemed to be moments of you passing through these lower city streets, but there would be the odd glimpse, the odd fast-forwarded moment of the party cutting down these skeletons. What would you like to know about them?
Right. Are they naturally occurring because of the effects of the city below, or are these ones man-made?
Uh,
Can I add to that?
push come.
Would Vanya know
Actually,
because of
so
her?
with hang on,
go ahead.
hang. Cypher rolled 19. Roll me a. This sounds like an insight check. You're wanting to know something. Roll me an insight check, Vanya. Just so, depending on what you roll, is the 12. Okay, yeah. So ask your question. I'm happy to give you information on all of them.
I'm back.
Okay.
So based on kind of like his questions too, would Vanya know if they were kind of man-made, if that was with the Sanguine Academy, because you know how they were trying
Yep.
to lift skeletons.
Absolutely. So, to answer your question first, Vanya, and this also answers Cypher's, no, they are not man-made in the... it's not like someone individually raised them to be guardians.
So it's just a natural effect of the city
It's a natural effect...
below. Natural in quotation marks, yeah?
In quotation marks. You get the impression that it's an unforeseen consequence, or perhaps not even unforeseen consequence, more like a... for you, Cypher, it would seem like you get the impression that the number of souls have been willingly dismissed from the obelisk to act as guardians. And due to the skeletons that you would see dotted around, they all seem to be wearing the remnants of old armor, ancient swords, ancient shields. Both of you will get the impression that perhaps those who once served in the City Bellows military are the souls that are controlling, or how to say it without giving too much away. You get the impression that the souls of the military were not absorbed by the obelisk.
Okay.
That their purpose still remains. That makes sense?
Still bound to their mortal form. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah.
You didn't miss anything, Reza. I was just explaining just a few of the encounters as you made your way, or again what the party may have saw from the undead.
Yeah.
So, back to where we were. Stepping through this archway into this large courtyard that seems to overlook the city below. Reza, back to you.
Maria walks out onto this balcony, still in that trance-like state, and then just stops dead and is staring straight ahead down into the city below. And can you describe what she sees and what happens next?
Okay,
Please.
I can indeed.
Yeah.
The rest of you would step beyond this archway onto a what it initially appears to be a large kind of like a stairwell or a balcony that then leads down onto this area, and you would see Reza stood at the far end on this circular platform that looks over the city. You would see roughly half a kilometer away in the center of this large vast cavern a black, almost pyramid-looking structure. A black obelisk with blue runes that run the length stands tall, proud, and oppressive in the middle of the city. Cypher, you would know this to be the obelisk, the central point of the city below. From there, you would all hear a voice echoing across every surface. A familiar voice, but not in a language that's known. Cypher, roll me a history check.
Okay, yeah, I knew that was coming. As soon as he said language, I was like, question. No. Language.
History.
History.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
I know.
You know.
Okay.
So, whilst the rest of you wouldn't understand the words used, Cypher, you would.
Oh, shit.
And you would all be aware of who is saying these words. The words that echo seem to be filled with magic. This is a ritual of some description. Whilst you can't see what's happening at this distance, the voice of the coroner rings out through the city below. The obelisk begins to swell in power. The blue runes start to glow even brighter. Magic begins to swirl around it. It doesn't take long for the voice of the coroner to be drowned out with what appears to be the screams of the damned. Shadows begin to shift. Hands at first begin to reach out in the direction of the obelisk before forms begin to fully coalesce. Above the obelisk itself, a blue vortex of souls begins to form, twirling, twisting, screaming. But something isn't right. Something seems to be going wrong with this ritual. As the shadows, the souls, the shades begin to form, making their way towards the obelisk. You see this on a grand scale. It almost looks like whatever shadows are below you are also rising up, but, well, there is a flash of light from the obelisk, a brief clatter, an explosion almost. Sound of stone overhead cracks, and at that a pulse of magic ripples out from the center of the city below. Any shades, any souls that you see are immediately turned to what appears to be ash. Only temporarily. They are blown into this black miasma before evaporating. Skeletons below are shattered. But the living, that's a completely different matter. You look down at this circular platform towards Maria, as this wave of blue energy washes over her. And for the sake of it, Cypher, you would just hear the only one, a voice ring out behind you.
I do not sound like that. Do I?
Cypher just nods.
I forgot. This.
At that, the presence of the coroner behind you fades, but what do the rest of the party see, Reza?
Can they see, like, generally see, like, Maria, whether she's standing or laying down or whatnot?
At this moment in time, the wave of magic's washed over you. They are on the top platform now, looking down towards where you were stood.
So what they would see is the figure of Maria laying on the floor dead. Arms sprawled out, weapons clattered to the side. And then Reza just stands at this balcony, staring down at her. Herself, her younger self. And time seems to speed up again, and you hear the shouting. Like, where's Maria? Where's Maria? Eric, have you seen her? No, I haven't. Helena, weren't you on watch with her? I fell asleep. Karanak, Morven, come. We have to go find her.
You would all feel, for a brief moment, as if something passing through you. Below, on this platform, footsteps would start to ring out from your left and right before the four individuals you'd noticed earlier at the campfire begin to almost fade into existence, which coincides with the turning of Maria at the far end of the platform.
Yeah.
Quick
And then-
question.
Yeah.
So you being sprawled out dead, did you look like that before the ritual or was that after the ritual?
After. And nothing's like, it's just the dream Maria that sprawled out dead. Not Reza.
You five are still stood on this platform, watching over this dream, this memory of Reza's. Now, you may have noticed something. But I'll get to that in a moment. Reza, anything else you wish to add?
Yeah, I will add that as her companions arrive, the form of Maria starts to lift itself off the ground, but she has been grotesquely transfigured, and I think the person who would recognize this the most would be Garrett, because he was in the room for her second transformation.
Yep.
So he would know almost exactly what just happened to her. Her face is horrifying, her fingers elongated. She is a monster.
Standing up.
This is where you.
Go on, Garrett. Go on.
This is where you first became what you are now.
Reza just nods.
Seeing this, the form of Maria begin to rise, horrifically mutated almost. Long claws, pale skin. I would say, Garrett, what happens, but instead, I'm going to say Morven, as the lead individual of this party. You see your former companion rise, not as she once was, but as a monster. You are all now members of Maria's party. Roll initiative.
Do I need to roll initiative too?
You do indeed.
Yay!
And
I
why
got
is...
an arrow, guys.
Yeah!
So, at this, Morven, a fighter. Garrett, you currently have control of Morven.
Okay.
Vanya, you currently have control of Helena, barbarian. Dorian, you have control of Karanak. Or Eric. I think you've got
Eric.
control of Eric. Yep, so Dorian, you're control of Eric, who is a rogue. Hand crossbow, sword, and last but not least, Cypher. You have control of Karanak, a ranger. Reza. Oh well. You're you, are you not?
Asked me.
With that said, Maria, what do you do?
Maria knows is hunger. And the 4 creatures she sees in front of her look like food. So she is going to try and eat. Run up to there.
You see this vampire, this undead creature, set off at a rapid pace towards you. I'm going to talk as if now that you're Maria's group. Obviously, Garrett, Cypher, Dorian, Vanya, you are above just watching this play out. Same with you, Reza. But yeah, with a move, any bonus actions, Maria?
Yes, I'm gonna do a thing.
Yeah.
She is going to use
Fleet of foot is a bonus. You are quick.
Yep, there it is. Fleet of foot to close the distance between Morven and Helena.
Okay.
And then I can't use multi-attack?
It's not a thing.
Oh, okay.
It's just...
She has multi-attack.
She does indeed.
She has multi-attack, so she is going to...
So that just tells you what you can do.
Gotcha, okay. So she is going to make a bite attack at Helena.
And hits Helena.
Still hits, okay.
Yeah. Helena, you see your former companion begin to set off its lightning speed towards you. What does Helena say in these moments?
So she would know that that's Maria, right?
Absolutely.
Maria, this is not yourself. You must stop. This is not you.
It's at that moment... Well, you take 15 points of damage, Helena.
I'm not even gonna get to act.
Yeah, you've
No,
got,
I know.
You've got, yeah. Would you like me to apply the damage?
No, you already did.
Already did.
You're good. Yep.
Maria, anything further?
Oh yeah, she's doing her multi-attack. So she takes a big old chomp out of Helena and seems to savor for a minute the taste of the blood, and then she turns slightly and takes a claw attack against Morven. I can't use it.
Hold. Let me.
I'll just do it this way.
Yeah. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Yeah. With that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the multi-attack thing's just there as a DM to tell you it's got it. Then you just use the attacks that it's got as normal.
21 is more than my armor.
No kidding. Okay.
Ooh.
2d8, what the fuck?
Yowza.
And just strikes out and strikes what is a mortal blow. And that is the end of Maria's first move, as she kind of is almost... There's no sense of intelligence in her eyes. She is a monster and she is hungry and you are food.
That's a bit.
Morven, seeing your companion turn into this feral beast, what are you doing?
Well, after being bitch slapped to all hell, the first thing I'm gonna do is a cheeky second win.
Oh!
Morven steels himself, just sticks his intestines back into his stomach. That's now no doubt tore open by the claws.
And then, as Morven is adept in two-weapon fighting, pull out his longsword and his short sword.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna go in.
Anything he would say to his companion? Has he just been disemboweled?
Yeah. Maria, she's changed. She's. There's a big slice goes across me.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah. Oh no!
Oh.
Fuck yeah! You know, we were talking before the stream about my role.
Yep.
Thusly.
I'm going to say with that, due to the fact that you've just been almost disemboweled, I'm going to give you the option of either being knocked prone or Maria having a free attack of opportunity.
Give her the attack of opportunity and she kills me.
Alright. Maria.
Okay, I'm gonna do a bite attack. Bite attack.
That is more Van Marmot.
For 18.
I'm dead.
Drops him unconscious. Maria, what do you do?
Well, right now, Callie is thinking, when I thought up this idea, it seemed like it would be a lot of fun. But in actuality, I'm so sorry.
I don't care, it's not Garrett.
Yeah, exactly.
This is good. I'm liking it.
Maria sees this sword swing out towards her, and she just kind of like bats it away and like half rips out Morven's throat with her teeth or something of that nature.
Got to remember, this is your memory. This is what happened. Don't feel bad. This is what you did, Reza. This is what you did, Reza. This is what you did.
It is what I did, and as she does that, I'm gonna use a legendary action.
Oh my god!
End of Morven's turn. That he drops unconscious. So then it would then go to Karanak, but with the legendary action.
I'm just gonna use my legendary action to vampiric mist up here to Eric and Karanak.
Oh no!
Okay, now you can go.
Karanak, you're up.
Bonus action. Oh, does he not have any hunter's mark left?
He should have one, yes. Just do it for free if it's been a problem.
No, I've got. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So that's what's an extra D4, is it?
It is.
And
1d6. What does Karanak say seeing this? It's just your former party members just turned into something, ripped out Morven's intestines, bit Helena.
he swears colourfully. He goes, "Hell's teeth! Bloody kill it! Casts Hunter's Mark and then tries to shoot at point blank range with his bow and arrow. Oh my.
You can't make this shit up! Do you wish to piss yourself and be knocked prone, or do you wish for an attack of opportunity?
No. You know what? Attack of opportunity. Fuck it.
Maria, you get an attack of opportunity against Karanak. Oh my god. Oh!
I missed!
Save.
Holy shit. So with an arrow just almost letting loose, Maria swings out, clipping the edge of the bow. The arrow goes wide. Maria's claws don't find their mark. Any bonus actions, Karanak?
My bonus action was to cast it.
It was, yeah.
This Mark.
Oh no. Alright, that's Karanak done.
Yeah.
Do you wish to move?
Not particularly.
Alright. If that's you done, we go to Eric.
Okay. Eric, because this thing has just appeared next to him, is going to try to backpedal just a bit
Yeah.
and wheel on, draw weapons and wheel on it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't appear that he has anything on his bar to actually be able to do any of that. Like, there's no weapons or attacks or anything populated.
Bear with me. What you can, I can drag
Just
the
go into his inventory.
can drag him in for you.
Okay, I can.
Alternatively, what you can do is click on use item and all the bits are in there.
So make sure that it's targeted properly. It is normal. I don't know if these are advantage with the positioning, but
No, with that roll, sadly. And with Maria leaping up, you swing out first with a long sword and a miss. You then come in with a dagger. Oh, also miss. Maria, why are they missing? What's she doing to evade these blows?
She is in full predatory mode. Dodging and weaving and looking for the opportunity to go in for the kill.
Anything further, Eric?
no.
All right. Helena, you're up.
Well, Helena being brutally mauled and then seeing Morven disemboweled in front of her. She's gonna fly into a rage. And then she's gonna use her.
You can just move straight up.
She's not gonna move. She's not gonna get near it. So she's gonna use her javelin. And
You absolute fucking.
oh
bitch.
wait. Hold on. You're a rogue, aren't you?
No, I'm a ranger.
Yeah, but who's the rogue?
Eric is.
Yeah.
Well, listen, she knows she's gonna die regardless, so she might as well just move forward. So she can use her dagger.
Okay.
And
Would you
or
rather
it be
not use the big hammer?
Yeah, I want to use the big hammer. She's just gonna pull out every fucking thing that she has in one hand.
Javelin, no. Dagger, no. Small, that'll do.
So with the rage, because she gets a bonus to the damage. How does she
Correct.
go about doing that?
So when you make a melee attack using strength, you gain a bonus to the damage roll that increases. So basically, you got to hit her first.
Well, you rage first with your bonus action.
She's
So
raged.
I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that.
Rage
Yeah.
is there.
Oh,
We'll get-
okay. Oh,
we'll get rid of
okay, I see it.
the javelin.
Okay, and then do I do that with normal attack?
Yeah, it's just a normal attack
Okay.
at the moment. You hit. The
It
hammer
hits.
strikes true.
Get fucked, Maria. Sorry. Okay, and then damage, and then what's the additional damage that's on that?
+2.
+2. Yeah. So
So 1d2.
no, just 2. It's just a straight 2.
Okay, here we go.
As Helena swings the hammer down and cracks it into Maria, there is... Normally, Helena, you would expect bones to crack, flesh to be pulverized under the strength and weight of this maul, but... Well... Maria's pretty resistant. The hammer almost feels as if it bounces off.
She's gonna yell out, "She's invincible! This is not you, Maria!" And then ends her turn.
As Maria hears this, she whips her head around. Any cut mark of the wound that Helena just gave her disappears.
Why is that?
As she regenerates.
Oh shit!
At the top of her turn. And she will turn on Helena, who managed to land a hit. And swipe out with a claw attack.
It's still enough.
This claw just comes swiping across your body for 14 damage.
It's the exact amount.
It's luckily because you're raging, it's halved. So you just take half. You take 7 points of slashing damage as Maria's claws carve into you, Helena. Maria, anything else?
She sees Morven over there bleeding out, and she doesn't want to waste that precious blood, so she's just gonna move over next to him
All right.
and take the attacks of opportunity.
3 attacks of opportunity. Helena, Eric, Karanak.
Hold on, I'm gonna hold my pee.
Huzzah!
All 2 hits.
Oh, they're all
Is it-
hitting now.
Oh, bar Eric.
Oh.
Oh. Helena, Karanak, roll damage.
Ooh. A bloody 5 damage.
That's reduced to 2. The more reduces to 6.
Basically ignoring them.
I mean, you're just about to feed him. Poor Morgan.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let him have one more turn first, because I feel bad.
He's unconscious. But what I will do...
okay.
No, hang on. What I'm going to do, Morven, because of the old situation, allow me to give you, when I find what I'm looking for,
You're going to give us last stand.
I'm going to give you last stand.
Oh god, remember what happened last time?
When I find the damn thing. Currently, Amazon said that we'll be doing another follow. Yes, we will be. We've just Saturdays have been a little busy. They've been a little busy, but we will be. Also, thank you for the follow. I did notice. Right, where's last stand? Last stand. There you are. There you are, Morven. You've got last stand.
Cool.
Let me give it to the rest of.
Somewhere in the distance, a Swedish band start up a tune.
Last stand, and Eric. Last stand. Okay. So whilst this is happening, what are the rest of you doing as you're watching this scene unfold below? Go on, Cypher. What do you make of this scene as you just see Maria, Reza start basically tearing her previous party apart?
He's just kind of like, just half smiling, like, futile. Watching them just get butchered.
With Morven, his stomach carved open, bleeding out on death's door. What do you do, Morven?
He shakily gets to his feet, using his long sword as like a walking stick. Spits blood out of his mouth. I didn't want this. And just attacks her with his longsword.
Alright.
And dies.
Mate! What is with your rolls tonight?
I've had 5 natural ones tonight so far.
I don't even know how
I don't even know.
I'll take the attack of opportunity. Because I'm immune to all damage.
Oh, hang
Oh,
on.
really?
Yeah, last
Did,
stand.
did you not,
Last
with,
stand.
with last stand, get advantage?
Not on attacks, it doesn't
Ah,
say. There's
okay.
ability checks and
Saving throws.
Skill check.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, gutted. Are you
Fine.
Yep.
I'm not done yet.
So, attack of opportunity from Maria.
She'll swipe a claw at him.
Start peeling him apart, ripping chunks of flesh out from Morven as he groggily tries to stab her. Morven, not Morgan. Oops, my bad. Hits.
No, I said it's definitely Morvan.
Oh, it's definitely more. Claws slam into his body. Maria, roll damage.
Yep.
You are invincible to it for the minute. For this.
He's immune, so
Yeah.
I feel like the claws just like maybe rip off a piece of armor or something.
Yeah. Or rent another gash in his
Yeah.
foot.
Yep.
Okay, so he's a 2-weapon fighter, so he's going to go in with the short sword now. For another natural one.
No! As with a claw stuck in his abdomen, Morven, you get your dagger ready.
4 damage. Count it, chat. 4.
Round it down.
You deal double damage, so it's 8.
Yeah. So it is 4
okay.
damage.
That's 4.
So it's 4. Yeah.
2.
So relaxing sword.
Yes, make the most of it. Get it done.
I love it.
In his dying breath, Morven
Fuck
just.
my life.
Oh my god.
Okay, I should have just stuck with a short sword and fucking long sword away.
you and long swords in general, man, they just don't mix.
For 6 damage.
For 6 damage.
And
Double
then
to
he
12.
collapses and dies.
And then.
And Maria will pull his still fresh body to her lips and start feeding on him.
And as he dies, he just croaks out, "Monster," and then dies.
Oh, man. All right. So, the rest of Maria's party just see Morven eviscerated, fed upon, and his body cast to the ancient stone below. Any comments from the peanut gallery?
Vanya will say, and this is why I wanted to change them.
Seth has just got a comment. You're a very messy eater. Has anybody ever told you that?
Reza turns and gives him a glare. That one was my favorite.
But imagine if I didn't do what I'm doing now, you would be dead.
No idea what you're talking about.
It's like you weren't even in my dream at all.
At that, though, the melee down below you all. I say melee. The carnage that is unfolding below you all continues. Karanak, you're up.
With more colourful words of "fuck this." Karak's gonna fucking move 30 foot up the stairs.
Uh-huh.
Then take a shot with this short bow. And this.
She clatters harmlessly against the stone below. The sight of Morven being torn apart. Too much.
Hearing this arrow clatter on the ground, Maria's head whips around to stare at Karanak.
Oh shit!
Anything else you wanted to do, Lucius?
No, that's all he could do.
She's gonna use a legendary action. Can I run up to him and attack on a legendary action?
Sadly not. It's one or the other with a legendary action.
Oh, okay. She's just gonna glare at you then. She's got other people to take care of down here first. No legendary action. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. With that then, Eric, what's he doing?
Eric, seeing this and being that he's down here, he's going to use steady aim
Mm-hmm.
and attempt to fire with the hand crossbow.
Excellent.
So that's advantage.
It is indeed. The bolt
No.
finds its mark.
Alright, so there's damage.
I love that sound effect.
Where's the other thing?
The other thing feature.
Well, because he has advantage, yes,
Uh-huh.
so
Nice. 6 points of damage in total as this hand crossbow bolt slams into Maria's back.
Anything else, Eric?
well, his bonus action is used and his action is used, so that's all he can do.
Maria is
Just-
going to use a legendary action
Mm-hmm.
to mist behind you again. And that's all I can do on the legendary action,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next!
That's your first legendary action this turn, though, correct?
This round, yes.
So you do have 2.
I'm going to use another legendary action to attack.
After Helena, so it's one. So basically, the way it works is you get a
Oh,
legendary
okay,
action,
so
then a
he
player,
has to go, and yeah,
and then a
okay.
legendary. So once Helena's gone at the end of the round, then you do get your second legendary action.
Yay!
Helena, what are you up to?
Well, Helena is gonna fly into a frenzy,
Yeah.
and she's gonna run up to Maria, and she's gonna yell to the rest of the party that's remaining and say, "Save yourself!"
So basically, you get 2 attacks. You get your normal action to attack, and then because of the frenzy, your bonus action could be attack as well, or will be attack. First swing, wide, misses. Second swing, also misses.
It was honorable. And she will just sit there and try to just distract Maria as much as she can by just kind of waving the weapon in front of her and making loud noises to distract her
Well,
to
I
save the other
mean,
party.
that works because she's going to use her second legendary action of this round
Mhm.
to bat you.
With the mouth coming up,
With a crit.
Maria latches on with a crit. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I will say that's quite a bit.
An amount of damage.
Yeah.
That is an amount of damage greater than your hit points remaining.
Oh,
It's
100%.
It's equal to her maximum HP.
Yeah, like, yeah,
So
she's no more.
Yeah.
the way this looks then is that
It's an insta
Maria
kill.
strikes twice. No, Helena strikes at Maria twice, and then Maria just grabs her and rips her throat out and just sucks the blood out of her body. In like gulping, slurpy sounds.
So you guys better get the hell out of Dodge because she sacrificed herself for you. But if you don't, okay, whatever.
And since Eric is right here,
So that's your
For her.
your legendary action. You've still got because you've got multi attack. You still have attacks.
oh, so I can claw at Eric as part of my legendary action.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what's gonna happen then. She'll drop Helena's body like it's hot. Because most of her blood was on the floor, so there wasn't much left in the body. And swipe at Eric.
Yeah.
14.
It's a hit. The claws slam into. Oh no.
And that's Eric down.
Not dead, but the claws carve into your back, Eric.
And
Drop.
Maria's going to go ahead.
I must say, drops to the ground, blooded, bruised, unconscious. So you still have the option to use your last stand if you wish. When it gets to your turn, but now it would be your turn, Maria. So movement.
Movement. And
Yeah.
close the distance.
Oh, Karanak, there is no escape.
And while she's moving, she's regenerating. There we are. And then she will unleash a multi-attack on Karanak.
Okay.
She will claw towards him first, snarling and mouth and claws dripping with the blood of his friends.
Yep. What have we learned? You don't put a level 3 party against a CR10 legendary action boss.
Which this party should have thought about before they went into the city below. This is a lesson, kids.
Yeah. Can't change history. But you managed to keep Hunter's Mark up. Nice. But you do take 13
Good
points
job.
of damage.
And then she's gonna come in for a bite.
Why?
Because she can!
She's hungry. Oh no. Having been torn out, I think it's probably safe to say that we'll go to Karanak's last stand.
No, he doesn't fight. He just dies horribly, shrieking like a.
Maria, how do you finish Karanak?
She just tears into his throat again. And like, this is almost like a wild animal who doesn't remember how to eat. She's like trying to eat, so she knows she has to go through the throat, but she's like ripping it out and not getting as much sustenance as she needs, but whatever. She's gonna use the remainder of that extra movement
Mm-hmm.
to come back downstairs and look at the unconscious form.
As Eric's bleeding out. Any last stand from Eric?
Why not? Usability. Just there on the ground with a crossbow in hand. Not going anywhere.
Raises the crossbow.
Yeah!
Oh, no way. It's good. Get it all in.
Yeah, just he shoots a crossbow bolt into this approaching beast that doesn't seem to care, even though it's a good hit. It just doesn't matter, and he just collapses. The blood running out of him. He's just dead on the ground after that. Also, just so everyone's aware, I'm pretty sure that the damage has been hitting Reza as well on the side for some reason.
I just applied it to Reza by mistake.
Okay. All right.
For that one,
that's-
yeah.
I just saw the negative. I was like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be happening. That's a me issue. User error.
Maria, with this crossbow bolt puncturing into you, any legendary action by any chance?
She's gonna go into Eric with a bite,
All right.
which hits because I guess he's like basically dead, and
yeah.
she's just gonna feast upon his body, and then the party would see her kind of like initial bloodlust seems to have sated. She's had things poked at her and been slashed, and you see the monster Maria just like rip the crossbow bolts and the arrows out of her body and just kind of like collapse in slumber amidst the broken and bloodied bodies of her friends.
Vanya.
Her closest friends.
Vanya.
Hmm.
Roll me a concentration check, please. D20. Reza. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, that's bad.
As the form of Maria begins to rip the crossbow bolts out of her back, there is a slight shift in the scenery. Vanya, this scene would affect you somehow. Why? How?
It takes her back to the academy with experimentation, and not every experiment went well. Sometimes you would have some what would you say, lab collateral kind of go rogue, and you would need to sedate it or eradicate it because it didn't go as planned.
Correct. The scenery begins to shift and contort slightly. That of your hold on the dreamscape not being as sturdy as before. Maria's mine now. The rest of you roll initiative.
Should have known this would happen.
Having ripped the bolts out of her back, the form of Maria begins to shift, contort, twist unnaturally. Reza, you would immediately know that this isn't now your memory. This is similar to what happened on the boat.
Vanya, what are you doing? What? This is where it ends.
I
We
can't.
wake up now. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm having flashbacks to when something went wrong in one of the experiments with the vampire, and
Reza chucks a bun at her face. It's okay. Stop out of it. It's the past. It's all the past.
But it killed every one of the I was able to escape from the mate. It killed.
I don't even need to do that. Maria's got spider climb.
Guys, I didn't even use half her tricks.
Fuck it. Straight off the bat, you just see the now somewhat contorted visage of Maria skitter across the floor, up the wall, and land on the banister directly in front of Vanya. With her claws outstretched, one to the left, one to the right, multi-attack first comes in, a slice towards Dorian with a miss. The second claw sweeps out towards Garrett. Oh my god. Normal service has resumed, everyone. And last but not least,
right,
with a howl
here comes a patron
towards Vanya. There we go.
Oh my god!
So with a swipe to the left and right, both missing Garrett and Dorian, Maria reaches forward and just clamps her jaws on your shoulder, Vanya. For 10 damage.
How are you rolling so much lower than me?
Because Foundry hates me.
I appreciate the lower damage.
With that though, Garrett, you are up.
Okay. Well, it's time for some steady aiming, I think. Even though she stood there, but your boy wants advantage.
I'm realizing now I forgot to add... No, wait. It was a saving throw. I can't add guidance to a saving throw, can I?
Oh, did you roll that advantage?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. You
Yeah,
rolled 2 5s.
Yeah. Oh,
Fucking
mate.
right, yeah.
Second. Come on, you've got this. She is high AC, though.
Yay. No, I just can't roll for shit.
Sorry, mate, not can I. So, as perhaps not even expecting this turn of events, the two side daggers whiz out, missing Maria by millimeters as her body almost twists at a 90-degree angle. And again, this is you attacking Reza in effect, so it's not easy. Physically easy, but mentally not after this amount of time. Cypher.
Cypher's gonna shout, "Get a grip, Vanya!" And then he's gonna Gloom Barrage Maria.
Okay.
At 3rd level.
Third level.
So that would be that's 5 damages.
It would. Good rolls. You don't need to exactly roll to hit, so it's just straight damage with Gloom Barrage.
How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Four.
5.
One more.
5.
Alright. Excellent. Is that you done?
Now I'm gonna move here.
Alright. As she's hitting the sides by this multiple shadowy bolts from Gloom Barrage, you see Maria now arch her back again, almost another 90 degrees. Something shouldn't really be possible, but you are all well aware that whatever memory this was has now well and truly shifted into that of nightmare territory. And as her legendary action, she didn't enjoy getting hit. So her legendary action will be to Vampiric Mist behind Garrett and close to you, Cypher. Dorian, you're up.
Okay, Dorian, seeing all this, fuck's sake, and he's gonna come up and he's gonna try to grab her.
Okay.
So let me
Athletics or acrobatics?
It will be athletics.
14 to beat.
Let me see.
19 will do.
So, fun fact. Ba, 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 ba. Did that go to chat?
It did.
It did. Okay. He's going to grab her from behind. Yeah. Using the silver spikes.
Excellent. This is the dream world, so the breaking doesn't kick in. But, yeah. Grappled.
And I'm just trying to see, because I've got normally attacks. I'm just trying to see what I can do with a grapple here. But this just seems like the thing that needs to happen to get this under control. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else besides I grab them that I can do.
Any bonus actions?
Well, I did hit them with attack, so I guess I'll apply a seal to them.
Okay.
And
grab Maria by the back of the head, brand her with one of your infernal seals.
I just got this back. I was trying not to use it.
Nothing counts in the dream, so use it.
Well, I feel like it's probably something I'll have to wait till next turn to do. So I've put the seal on him. I've grappled. Gonna just try to make sure that she can't go after Cypher or anyone else.
Absolutely. There is, roll me an intimidation check. Cypher, roll me a stealth check.
And I get a bonus from my strength, so...
19. Don't mind me, I'm not here.
Yeah, without... Okay, so as soon as you reach out, grab and brand Maria, this twisting, spectral nightmare, her head flops back to the point where the back of her skull is touching her spine as she's now looking at you, Dorian, and just hisses, fangs bared as the claws begin to reach around towards you. Her attention is now completely on you, Dorian.
Yeah. I figured. Grappling.
Grappled, basically, their speed becomes 0, so they can't move. And because her attention's completely on you, everyone gets advantage against her.
Okay.
But the fact that you grappled her, she is going to use a legendary action to just go full psycho vampire on you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 claw attacks. Oh. So damage. That's a lot of damage.
It is.
So basically, she's just at this point just reaching behind her. She can't bite you because you've got her grapple, but the claws, her arms almost dislocate, flail behind, and just start ripping into you, Dorian. That's her 2 legendary actions. Vanya, you're up.
All right, so Dorian doesn't have a hand on her or anything, right? Like it's just a.
No, he's got her. He's got her physically grappled.
Okay, so if I used Shocking Grasp, like, is that going to
You'll be fine. Yeah, that'll
transfer to him?
No, that's just on.
So what
on
if
her.
what if I dreamed of like a water puddle underneath her?
I would allow you double damage if
Okay,
you can
that's
deceive
what
yourself. Roll me a deception
So
check.
she's gonna dream of a water puddle underneath her.
It's not going to be difficult. This is pretty easy to do. I'm going to say it's like DC 8. Yeah. You all would see this puddle just start to bubble up from the cracks underneath onto the stone as you get advantage.
God,
Even
I
with
did roll it.
advantage. As you reach out, you try and shock her, but again, with this being Reza, you find it difficult to hurt her. It's yeah. For all intents and purposes, even though it's a dream and you all know that, it's still a visage of Reza.
This is gonna fuck me. Okay. As a bonus action, she's gonna Misty Step.
Smart. Then just click where you want.
She is going to hide behind the statue right here.
Okay. Boom. Reza.
So
Self versus self.
Reza is struggling right now with the idea of shooting her former self, but instead she thinks, I need to distract her. I need to distract her. And then she thinks back to what would have distracted her in that frenzied state. And so what she tries to do is leverage. Gotta go to my character sheet for this.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to try and leverage her her silent image spell.
Okay.
And put an image of her father down here near the bodies.
Okay.
And what I would like to do differently in this dream is to have the image not be silent.
Yep.
And to yell out to Maria, like, words of comfort. Like, come here, I've got you, I can make all the bad things go away.
She sees it. She certainly sees it, even with disadvantage. I'm like, yeah, don't see it, Maria. But yeah, she would easily see this image of your father, especially with it being called out, and with that, her attention is her head.
Can I make him speak?
I'll give you a sentence.
He's gonna say to her, Maria, Don't let the rage consume you. You are better than a monster. Control yourself. That's it.
Any movement?
Probably just gonna back up a bit.
Okay.
Would that have been like my whole action and bonus action and everything to do that?
Cast a spell? Absolutely. You've still got your bonus action.
Oh, that's right. I cast a spell. No, that's it. That's my turn.
All right. End of the turn. Vanya, roll me an Arcana check. Oh, it's good. All right. Roll me, in that case, just roll me a concentration, just a d20. At that, with the shifting, contorting image of Maria turning her head, that flops to one side, looks down at the gore-covered platform, the image of her father beckoning her. From behind Vanya, you begin to quickly grasp the crystal, regain concentration, and you would all feel in a brief flickering moment yourselves just being pulled, drawn, as this entire area sucked away from you, back down the corridors, the city streets. Reza, back to you. Anything you wish to add?
Reza is just breathing heavily, and she's like a bit shook, I would say, by how her dream ended. And she just looks to Vanya and says, thank you. Thank you.
It was a bit scary, a little uncontrolled, but after all, I mean, you have evolved to who you are now, right? So you can do better.
Sure. And she gives her a half smile.
There's hope.
And then Reza just kind of falls silent.
Vanya would have kind of like an epiphany from the dream world of how she could
Oh no.
relate how maybe creatures or vampires, in a sense, have evolved and changed. And this invigorates her of how she could explore more to understand how, creatures could evolve to like how Reza is now and to make a change in the world.
Vampire missionary Vanya.
With that said, though, and Reza, you closing yourself off, the world around you, the visage of the city below, slowly begins to fall apart, peel away at the edges. Anything anyone wishes to ask about? Anything in that, any information anyone wishes to try and peel off of that that sequence of Reza's dreams, Reza's memories?
Vanya would have a question with that. You know,
Go
with
for it.
that newfound epiphany, she's gonna ask, how did you become who you are today?
Well, for a long time, I'm not sure how long, it felt like I was just another monster roaming around down here until somehow my senses returned and I found my way out, and I was somewhere near the canals and just, it's all a bit of a blur, but eventually I started working for a small smuggling group because I knew the forest like nobody else. And being around normal people like that again helped me try and figure out how to be normal again. Or act normal.
Was it something magical that spurred that realization, or was it just a need to conform? Did something help you along the way?
Roll me an insight check, please, Vanya. Reza looks like she's gonna say something and just kind of shakes her head and shrugs. She's like, it was a long time ago. I don't really remember.
Well, we don't have much time, so I'll explore this more outside of the dream world with you. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yes, I do actually. It looks like you spent a long time down here with your compatriot.
I think it was the better part of a week, if not longer.
Other than the Grand Pyramid obelisk, did you see any smaller obelisks in the city?
Did she see any smaller obelisks in the city?
I'm going
Shall
to.
I-
So go on.
I was gonna ask, do you want me to do a history check?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Let the dice decide.
Yeah. DC 10. Nice and easy. I say that, but you're not exactly.
Is that how we roll tonight? Doesn't matter.
Yes, you passed a few. You couldn't say exactly where. Again, it's been many years since you were down here. You know the rough strokes, the rough path, but as for a specific location for some of the smaller pyramids, smaller temples, smaller obelisks, you're not too sure. There are some down here though.
I think I saw some, but I couldn't tell you where or what they looked like. Just smaller.
Oh, that's good enough.
Alright, so with that said then, the scenery that's now starting to peel back even more. What was once dark and black stone of the city below begins to peel away to the light, multi-hued coloured rocks. The stonework beneath your feet starts to liquefy, slipping away again, turning from dark grey now to chromatic in colour as you return back towards the endless, potentially infinite ocean of the dreamscape. And I think that's probably a good point for us to knock it on the head.
I think so.
Cypher, a lab-grown monstrosity. Vanya, a scholarly monstrosity. Reza, a undead monstrosity. Starting to pick up a pattern, folks.
We're all monsters here, chat. Can't wait for Dorian's dreams. They're gonna be hot.
Spicy. But, I mean, hopefully this is, you know, for those watching, those who've been with us for the last 80 plus episodes. I hope you're enjoying a little bit of a look into we finally got to the backstories, everyone. It only took 80 episodes or more. But no, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Anything anyone wishes to say?
Goodbye, chat.
Goodbye, chat.
Goodbye, Trap.
Peace.
And see you next time on Pariahs.
Ah, excellent. I'm going to head over to that. Everyone, once again, thank you so much for joining us for episode 25 of Pariahs. I've got a little bit on, so the Saturday games are currently not a thing at the minute. But we will be back next Sunday for episode 26, and yeah, I hope you can join us for that. I'm going to raid this mind of mine who came in earlier, dropped a sub to the community. So yeah, well, they're currently playing Cyberpunk Red TTRPG. So, hit the button, start raid. ELH, as always, thank you for the raid. I hope those who stuck around enjoyed it. Durs, thank you for the 49 months. Rayvon, thank you for the 200 bits. Vexing Cat, thank you for the 2 months, but I know you've subbed even longer than that, so thank you very much. Jumplax, thank you for the 53 months. And Dobie, thank you for your continued sub. Appreciate it, everyone. Courtney Amazon, thank you for the follow as well. And thank you for dropping by. But yeah, with that, see you all next Sunday. Ta-ta for now.